If you're interested in winning more games of Madden, head over to winmadden.com, where you can gain access to the top offenses and defenses ran by the pros at the highest level. And you can now use my code DREW20 for 20% off your yearly or monthly membership and start winning today. All right, boys, today I have a really fire ebook for you guys. And if you enjoy this type of content and you want to dominate your opponent, win more games online, make sure you drop a like, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell so you're always notified when a new post is live on the channel. We also do Panthers theme team updates, so make sure you stay tuned for that on Ultimate Team content. But I'm in the doubles flex Y off close formation, and this is a very highly meta formation. This is going to be ran by a lot of pro players, a lot of competitive players, in PL tournaments, MCS ladders, things like that. So, and just for a reference, you can go to huddle.gg and find whatever formation you want in the game. See what teams have it in their playbook. So the doubles flex Y off close formation can be found in the 49ers, Broncos, Jaguars, Jets, Run and Gun, Saints, and Seahawks. I'm in the Saints playbook, but I would prefer if you guys run it out of either Jaguars, Saints, or Jets. Seahawks are good too, but Jags, Saints, and Jets are probably the top three playbooks in the game right now for offense. They have so many formations you can use that are highly meta, highly effective tactics to win more games online in Madden 26. So I'd heavily recommend you guys run it out of those three playbooks. I'm going to be going over just this formation to make the video a little bit short, sweet, and to the point as possible. So you want to have in your audibles, you want to have PA snag, inside zone, motion angle Y wheel, and Y sail. And I'm going to go over how these plays beat man, cover 2, and cover 3 zone. All right, so when we break the huddle and flood H post here, this is going to be our most ran play, probably. And the reason you come out in this play is because you want to give yourself access to 5 plays instead of the usual 4 that you have in your audibles. It's not typically too smart to come out in the play, to have the player coming out and also be in your audibles. That's why we're coming out in a play that's not in our audibles, so that we have access to 5 plays instead of 4. It's just a general rule of thumb when you're running any offense in the game, especially when it's like one formation exclusively. But our first setup for flood H post is going to be stemming our sharp cutting corner route all the way down and dragging our tight end. And this is a really good universal beater in general. It's going to be man, it's going to be zone. These stem down horizontal corners are really, really good. It's a lot different from your regular corner. So here's our regular corner route stemmed all the way down. You notice how it's a lot more vertical, and like it just doesn't compare to this like short stem corner. These things are really, really good. And against man and zone, you're going to notice how fast that they get leverage. They almost get like a little speed burst. Okay, I know that wasn't really the best example, so that's why we're going to run a few. This is against random defense, by the way. So stemming the corner out all the way down, dragging the tight end. That's a great example right there. You see how the kind of like speed burst that it got off the line of scrimmage right there? That's what you're going to see a lot of times when you play in an online game, and it pretty much needs to be your first read. Okay, if you see that stem down corner get open, you need to go ahead and throw that more often than not. And if you notice that it's a little covered, but you could still throw it, I would do like a pass lead down so that you can cut it off right in front of the defender. And so right here, another great example, just absolutely fries man. And in the event that that sharp corner is covered, you have another hot read with your tight end drag, and you also have the sharp cutting post over the middle of the field. And if their user doesn't respect that, you can always pop them with that too. So what we have here essentially is two really fast hot reads. We have a high-low over the middle between the drag and the post, and we have a high-low over the middle on the left between the drag and the curl. So it's just a really good universal beater in general. You see we have our tight end drag right there. It's going to fry man. It's going to fry zone. Most of the time, nobody's going to use a tight end drag. They're just going to let you throw it. So this is our setup right here. Drag tight end, stem the corner all the way down. So you're going to see that we have the curl this time. We got sacked, but the curl was open. Literally insane. All right, we're going to try to throw our post right here. See if we can out leverage the defense here. Pass lead it down, cut it off. We got an easy gain. All right, now those last few reps were just against random defense. So we went against man, we went against match, or we went against any type of zone defense really. But this is a cover 2 defense, and in case you get cover 2, I want to show you how you can just absolutely use this play to roast it. So what we're going to do is we're going to stem up the sharp corner 1, and then we're going to streak our tight end, flat route our halfback, and then we're going to streak our slot receiver and put our solo guy on a sluggo. And this is a really underrated route in my opinion. We're going to look at the high-low on the right side first. So you're going to see that the flat route, like everything, like it's just your traditional flood concept that's been good in Madden for years. So if you ever see somebody in a cover two, I would just stem this guy up one, streak the tight end, flat the halfback, streak the slot, and put this guy on a sluggo. And then we're going to do one more rep of this, and you can see the running backs open too. So if you want to check down to the running back, you're more than welcome to if you feel pressured or anything like that. Um, but I want to show you guys how powerful this sluggo route is against cover two. In this formation in particular, when you're running it to the short side of the field, I feel like this sluggo route is really, really good. It doesn't get open as fast as a slot fade would, but in this particular formation's case, you're going to notice that once that sluggo gets by that cloud flat, you pass lead it to the outside, and then you just have an easy gain against cover two, and can sometimes be a one-play touchdown. Next play we're going to go over here is PA snag. This was really popular last year, and it's popular again this year. I have like 3 different setups for this. They all beat zone and man, but I have a specific setup for if I think they're in a cover 2 defense, and I'm going to show you guys. All right, so versus cover 3 or any zone defense in general, we're going to drag our tight end, flat route our halfback, and streak our slot receiver. And if we don't get absolutely screamed at here by the pass rush here in all Madden practice mode, we're going to have a bunch of stuff open, okay? So first off, if your tight end drag is open, you want to throw that immediately, okay? If no matter if you're pressured or not, if they give you that tight end drag, please throw that every single time. You want to make them respect that. And then the cool thing about this little snag route from the circle receiver right here is that it's going to suck down any yellow zone or force the user to respect it. Double team burns here, and then we're going to have base protection. See if that helps out any. Boom. Yo, they are just mauling my ass, bro. But you see the post is getting wide open. We're going to go ahead and go to our cover 2 setup now so I can show you how you can use that play to beat cover 2. All right, most of the time you want to run this offense on the left hash with your tight end to the wide side of the field, but in this particular setup, you can run PA snag like this from the weak side, just to give your opponent another wrinkle to worry about and let him know that you can run this on the right hash. Then we're going to put our slot receiver on a drag and our halfback on a flat route. And what this is going to do is it's going to get the slot fade open versus cover 2, and we're going to have the streak is going to be pulling the deep zone. And then we have this drag post combo backside, just in case we don't feel like throwing that. So boom, you're going to notice that if you pass lead all the way to the outside, you're going to be able to possession catch that up the sideline and really burn cover 2 with this setup. So slot fade on circle, stem him down 1 so that he runs it a little quicker, streak the tight end, flat route the halfback, drag the slot receiver. So we have this little setup right here going. And what this is going to do is going to really stretch the field versus cover 2 on the short side of the field, of course. And then if you don't have any pressure, if you feel pressured or something like that, you can always check down to your drag or your running back table route. And always make sure you have your base protection, your protection set back to base. That's a big issue with a lot of plays in this game. So we have our drag here in case you want to check down. You have a nice safe option there. All right, now we're going to go over inside zone. This is just a run to keep your opponent honest. It's not meant to be a home run hitter. It's just to keep your opponent honest and let him know that you can run the ball. There's no really specific fronts other than 3 down lineman set where I'd really run the ball. But this inside zone has a really quick handoff, and you can get upfield really quickly. And there's not a lot of it's one of those inside zones where if you see the running back just going straight horizontal, you know the handoff is going to be quick. And it's just meant to keep your opponent honest. You're not going to pop a touchdown with this unless they're in like a 3 down lineman set or something like that. This next play we're going to run right here is called motion angle Y wheel. And it has another one of those really sharp cutting stem down corners. And so what we're going to do here is we are going our first setup here. This is to flood any type of cover 4 or cover 3. I wouldn't really run this against man coverage really, but we're going to streak the running back. So we have a Durham concept going on right here, flowing from right to left. And so you're going to have the halfback open in the seam there. And then we also want to stem down this corner route all the way down. And then we want to streak the solo guy. And what this is going to do is your first read needs to be the stem down corner, because this stem down corner is just going to get open really, really quickly. Like, I'm telling you, it's just like the flat H post corner route. It is so good. So we're going to go motion angle Y wheel, stem the corner down all the way, streak the solo, and then streak the halfback. And then I'll show this again here. You see how fast that gets open? It's just, it's one of the most unguardable routes in the game, I'm telling you. So the other thing we're going to throw here versus cover 2, versus cover 3 and cover 4 is this Durham concept over here on the right. So in the event that this corner route is covered, or they're going over to user it, or they're respecting it, or switching it, or something like that, against cover 4 and cover 3, you're going to have a nice little flood combo over here. And you're going to have the running back open in the seam area. So boom. A lot of people's users are going to forget about that. So that's going to be a really automatic gain for you a lot of the time. So we're going to go streak halfback, streak outside dude, stem the corner down all the way. And then you're just going to notice how this running back just gets open in the seam area. And it's just one of those money route combos. All right, we're going to try to show this against, we're going to try to show the crossing route against cover 3 here. So we're going to try to get it open here for you guys. Boom, we are able to get it open, and we are possession catching it. Ideally, you would throw that once he gets to the sideline, but practice mode pass rush is absolutely annoying today. So I also want to show you guys a cover 3 bomb. So the cover 3 bomb is going to be out of motion angle Y wheel. After I show you this setup, I'll show you how it beats cover 2, how we can set it up to beat cover 2. So what you want to do is you want to block your halfback, streak your tight end, and then you want to put your slot receiver on a zig and your solo on a comeback. And then you want to take the crossing route and stem him up once. Okay, and what this is going to do is going to be a classic cover 3 bomb, where you're going to look for the crosser over the top of the defense, assuming you have time in the pocket. So, all right, I'll switch to a cover 3 defense here, and out of a dime look, so I can show you guys how to beat this, how to beat cover 3 a little bit better, so that we can have more time in the pocket. It's still a cover 3, but there's just less people rushing. So we're going to half slide to the left right here, so we can block all that BS. But this is the setup here. We're going to step up in the pocket. As you can see, that comeback route makes the outside third bite down, and you're able to throw that for an easy one-play touchdown. All right, now I'm going to show you guys how we can use motion angle Y wheel to beat cover 2. So what we want to do here is we want to flat route the halfback, or you could block him, and then streak the circle receiver, and then you want to drag the slot guy. Okay. Or you can do our streak sluggo combo that we did from the previous play. So this is probably a better one. Okay, this is more of a hole shot. If you don't have time, you can dump it down to your halfback, but you're going to see this tight end wheel route gets over the cloud flat very easily. So if you have time in the pocket, you can hit that throw. And if not, you have something going on the other side as well. So we want to streak circle, we want to flat route our halfback, and then we want to streak our slot receiver and sluggo route our solo receiver over there. So we already showed the sluggo and how it can beat cover 2. We're going to pass lead that down the sideline right there. We're going to show the tight end wheel one more time for you. So sluggo the solo guy, streak the slot, streak circle, and then flat route our halfback. And so make sure we have base blocking, of course. So we're looking for the tight end here. If we have time, boom, he gets over the cloud flat, and it's an easy gain over cover 2. All right, the last play that we're going over in this ebook before we get to the red zone stuff is Y sail. So Y sail is just like PA snag, just like flood H post. Very powerful play that doesn't require a lot of hot routes. So the only thing I would do is I would just drag the slot. That's literally it. And I would probably stem down the corner once so that it gets open a little bit quicker. And what you're going to notice is the underneath. If the underneath's open, you take the underneath, of course. That needs to be your first read. But this drag gets into a nice pocket in any zone that's not cover 2. And the cool thing about this Y sail play is this drag route from the slot receiver can be a really good hot read. Okay, because when you have the streak, the corner, and the halfback table route, when you have all of those zones, when you have all of those routes pulling the zones apart, it opens up a pocket right here where you can throw this corner route for an easy 10-yard gain. And then you have this backside dig as well. So if you have time, you can hit the backside dig, just highball it maybe. A lot of times the user is going to be there, so like they're going to be using one of those 2 hook curls, so that you always want to make sure they respect that backside dig as well. So now versus cover two, this should be pretty self-explanatory. Okay, you're going to be looking for the tight end corner route when you're facing cover two. It's not the best. It's not the play I would go to beat cover two, but you notice that it does get open if you have time. So I would prefer running our other plays if you're going against a cover two defense specifically, but this is a very good cover two beater as well. Like just stock, just drag your tight end. It's the same setup. You're just going to wait for the tight end to get open on the sideline versus that cover two zone. So really good cover two beater as well. All right, so in the red zone, I really like to run this motion dagger Y in play. It has another one of those sharp cutting corner routes that you can stem all the way down. And then this running back motion that turns into a zig route can be really, really good when you're facing zone defense in the red zone, or man for that matter. So the only setup I have for here is to, you want to out route this solo guy, and then you want to stem this corner route all the way down so that he runs really sharp. Okay, and make sure you have base blocking. And what's going to happen here is the out route from the solo guy is going to pull the flat zone and make space for this tight end, for this running back motion whip route. So when the running back motions, you're going to notice that he is going to set in a nice soft spot in the zone here. Boom, and we can hit him for a touchdown. So it always, even against cover two, I'll show this against cover two as well. So we out route the solo guy, and then we stem the corner out all the way down on the other receiver. And I also want you guys to pay attention to the speed corner route. So it's going to get open too. Boom, speed corner gets open. You just pass lead down, possession catch it. That still needs to be your first read. If it looks like you're going to be able to have leverage over there, I would look at the corner route first. And so we're going to run that again here. We're going to show both the running back and the short stem down corner route here. So we're going to do it again. Out route solo guy, stem down the slot corner. And so we're going to start the motion. We should have this corner route as well. So boom, he gets the speed burst, and you're possession catching for a touchdown. And you don't want to forget about this little baby tight end in route as well. So if you get the user running in either direction, just assume the user vacates the middle of the field. You can also throw this tight end in the middle of the field. Like say they take their user and they want to go user that little zig route over there that you've hit them with a few times. So that's going to open up space for this tight end, little tight end in route. So just things to think about when you're forcing your opponent to go user something. And so now I'm going to show this against cover two. All right, so when we're running this play against cover two, it's going to be the same read progression. We're going to stem the corner all the way down, and then we're going to out route the solo receiver. But what I also want you guys to pay attention to is this little seam route that Xavier Worthy's on from the slot. If you think your opponent is in a cover two defense, you want to be able to look out for the high pass on that route. So we're going to hike it, boom. If you notice they're in cover two, bam, hit it right away. Okay, or you could put them on a regular streak. It's honestly better if you probably put them on a regular streak instead of that, that streak that kind of bends further towards the safety. So that's just another hot read that you need to be aware of. So boom, high ball against cover two. It's one of those like insta reads where if you see that they might be in a too high shell, you want to kind of have that in your back pocket. So. But I'm going to show you that this running back zig route does get open against cover two as well. So we're going to see it actually gets even more open against cover two. So it's a really nice red zone passing play if you have to pass. If you guys enjoyed this ebook on doubles, flex, Y off close, it's one of the most high-powered offenses in the game. Let me know if it helps you win more games online. And make sure you like, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell for more content. So I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.